Welcome to the fifth lesson. Today I just want to go over how I place the strips on the violin keyboard. So you can just take ordinary stickers and cut them into strips of about 5-6 millimeters width. And you go under the strings, careful not to get them stuck everywhere, and you pull them back. Now at the beginning, as I discussed before, we're learning the basic first position. Now, first position generally means that the first finger is a note above the open string. So if the open string is a G, for example, then the first finger would be an A, because that's one tone above. Also, half a tone above would be considered first position, but a first position in low form. So a low first position, so to speak. Now, you might have noticed that they're not placed evenly. Okay, that is the way we play our basic first position. It doesn't really have that formal name because even if you played this way with your second finger and a third finger far away, so this way, it is also considered a first position. Also, this is a first position with the third finger not on that. Everything which has the first finger based here is a first position. But still, I call that the basic one because it's the easiest one to learn at the beginning for most of us. And the reason for that is that we tend to have this more inherently in our fingers, in our hand, rather than this, for example, or this, right? So you see, all of these strain our hand. For an unpracticed hand, it strains our hand more. And that's what I call a basic first position, and most books also teach us to play this way, in beginner books, and that's why I want to conform so you have an easier time learning. But then some people, and even violinists who've been playing for a while, might think that the higher you shift later on, of course, the higher you go, then it becomes a more dangerous territory. It becomes harder. That's not true. You could have easily started playing the violin here and went down, and then what would you consider this scary? So there's nothing scary. Everything remains the same. Only that your the distance between the fingers becomes smaller, because that's Pythagorean. Okay, that has to do with physics. Everything becomes a bit more squashed, but it doesn't mean that it's scary or something that you have to be tense when you go up. Nothing. Forget about that. It's just because we've been trained to start as we had more practice on the lower positions. Okay, so I wanted to say that already at the beginning. There we are. So we've stuck them, and you have your G, A, B, C. On the D string, it would be D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Okay, those are our notes if we play that way. Okay, so that was just a very quick explanation for how to set that. You can also do without stickers at all. Okay, if that's something you want to try before, I really recommend even trying that before you put on the stickers, because actually it's a good training for your ear. Now we can already revert back to playing scales. Now this time I've decided to look at myself in the camera so I can preview so I don't have my head cut like in previous videos. But of course you remember that you'd be holding it to the left. But now I think you're already acquainted with the violin, so you don't really need that anymore. Let's play a G major scale. That's a scale that sounds, so to speak, happy. Okay, major, but it's not really a matter of happy, or no valence in it, or it's just a group of notes that form a scale. That's a family. Okay, so we're going to play a G major scale. We're going to start on the G and we're going to end on a G, which is the third finger on the D string. Okay, we start on the bottomest note, then we go up. So we go to the D string by lowering the, you remember we were lowering the elbow, and backwards. And that's where I want want to go into what I call the filling. Okay, that's very, very important. I'm going to teach you a trick which is going to serve you for life. Most violinists don't know this. I'm not saying nobody knows this, but very, very few do. Okay, and I would like you to be between those who do. When I go back a scale, I fill in all the notes that could have been on the next string. What does that mean? Here's an example. If you noticed, that's not a problem. Coming down, I'm playing an open D string, and during this time I'm filling up all the notes. I was filling up the notes in the meantime. Did you notice what I did? While I was playing, I remained with my right elbow. I remained on the same string that I was playing beforehand, and during this time, I was filling up all the notes by their order, and that is very important. Always start with the first finger. It's the basis for everything we do. Also later when we learn shifting positions, it always is a matter of thinking of the first finger. Even when you're a professional, you should keep that in mind. Whatever you, even though I'm not even playing it, you see, whatever you play, you always shift thinking about the first finger. Doesn't matter how big the jump is. You could even move 20 strings in between them, but I'm always thinking where the first finger should go, or should have been playing if it were to be the first note to be played. You see, I know where this is supposed to touch. It's not even touching the string. So that's a matter of first finger thinking. So again, to explain what I did here, now let's take another scale, D major scale. If I were to play it out loud for you, but I didn't move it with my bow to the D string. I remained on the A string until such a time when all the fingers were placed evenly and with the right tension down on the string. All right, that's our very important lesson for today.